Okay.
Yes.
So what was you saying?
Oh, okay. Well, you know, up here where we at now, right? We're in front of PS 21 Elementary School, and you know that's one of several schools that are in this area, which is District 11 as far as school areas are concerned. So you know what happened? You had people, depending on where you lived at back in those days, you went to the school that was in your zone. So for example, me being from Gun Hill Projects, which is Gun Hill White Plains Road, I went to PS 41. If you lived up past a certain area, like here in 225th Street area, the Twos, what we call the Twos, or some of the people who were down from Edenwall, they came here to PS 21, or they went up by their way to Seton Falls, which is PS 111. If you lived over by Needham Avenue, like where my man DJ Breakout is from, he went to PS 78. That's the school there. If you was on Bronxwood Avenue, you went to PS 76. So it's elementary schools, you know, and then they had one up all PS 16, which a lot of white kids went to. Because that was like, back in those days, this was like kind of a real segregated area. So past a certain areas, mostly
this area was segregated?
Oh yeah, very much so. We used to fight white people up here all the time.
It's mostly, there's a lot of my beautiful black people out here though.
Now, not in the 70s, not in the early 70s.
Oh yeah?
Nah, not in the 60s, early 70s. There were black people, there were black people here, but they were just migrating, and a lot of the white people here resisted that. You know what I mean? And especially, like, you go past 233rd Street. You know, you had a lot of white people, and, you know, they might jump you, shit like that. So, you know, we had things like that. If you went down the Gun Hill Roadway, if you went up towards Gun Hill, towards Jerome Avenue, you had white gangs, the henchmen were over there. Even your area. They'll tell you about even your way. Parkchester. You know, the ministers. So that went on everywhere. That wasn't just your area. That was here, too. You know what I mean? This was very, you know, segregated, and black people coming and moving in. Particularly up here, they were more middle-class black people, you know, buying houses. And, as their fortunes improved, you know, people getting civil service jobs and other professional jobs, and they were able to afford houses and move their families out of the South Bronx and other places. They would come up here.
This is the hood now, though.
Oh, yeah, that is that. Well, yeah, to some, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, you know, Edenwall was always hood. Edenwall is Edenwall.
It was always wild.
It's always been that. Edenwall's always, they had their own gang, Intercrime. See, like, I mean, the Spades and everybody, we had Spades everywhere. It was citywide. You know, Tomahawks are all different parts of Brooklyn. They come from big, large places of Brooklyn. Edenwall, Intercrime is one housing project.
But they was wild on back then?
They were probably one of the first gangs up here, really. And they were highly respected. That's Joe Pratt and them. They was they're not a gang. You know, and that was a real powerful dude, Joe Pratt. He ran, think about it, this one dude, this one guy, you know? And that housing project, they had their own gang. They did, you know what I mean? I'm from Gun Hill. We didn't have a gang by ourselves.
Joe Pratt, what year was that?
That's in the 60s, early 70s.
Yeah?
And I mean, he stayed involved with a lot of things. I mean, all the way into the 90s, he got into other stuff, you know, which I won't get into on camera. You know what I mean? You know, but people who know who he is and know all about that know all that stuff, so I'm not going to get in. But he was the head of Intercrime. He was the leader of Intercrime. Serious dude. Had a mean hand game.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's real. You give credit where it's due. He had a mean hand game. He could get it in. He could get it in. But, I mean, Intercrime, like I said, that was only one housing project. And that's how powerful they were.
Hand game, you mean fighting?
Yeah, fighting. He became a boxer.
Yes, I was
he became a boxer.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, he became a boxer. I mean, so he was really, you know, good. Just saying. So, but anyway, that's the way this neighborhood was. And, you know, you asked me, does that have anything to do with the history in terms of hip-hop? Yes, in a certain way. Like, you know, this was an area in transition, and that's kind of when the gang thing started coming in the late 60s, early 70s. And particularly, you know, with the gangs, we're having beefs and fighting with, they had white gangs. The White Assassins, White Angels, Ministers, Golden Guineas, all of that stuff. They had them. And, you know, a lot of them were the products of their parents who had racist attitudes. Didn't want, you got to remember, a lot of those white people moved up here because they were trying to get away from blacks who were moving into the South Bronx and other places, so they moved up here, trying to get away from us. And then we're moving up here, so they're feeling like, hey, you know, they're encroaching on our territory, our whatever. So a lot of the friction that was going on that created the black gangs or street organizations, as you want to call it, had a lot to do with a lot of that racism that was going on with whites. And even, you know, you've heard them tell you the story about the Spades with the stairway in 123.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because other guys like trying to make a pay a dime or a quarter, whatever it was, to go up the stairway or whatever. Right. So you understand what I'm saying? So wherever you go, you have those areas of, you know, encroachment. People feel that you're encroaching. Hey, how you doing? People feel that you're encroaching upon their territories or whatever, you know, and that's a lot of that is a lot of human nature. But the racial parts of it definitely played a role in it. And uptown here, especially because, you know, whites really felt, hey, these black people are moving in and encroaching on our territory, and our property values are going down, all those crazy kind of things. And when they moved from here, they moved upstate. You know, they moved further upstate. And they moved to certain parts upstate, like Rockland County, Putnam, and all those kind of areas.
Right.
The gangs faded out because we were youth gangs. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Like, it ain't like today. You see cats who are Damu, Blood, Crip, grown men.
Right. Right.
You know, you get cats.
It's generational.
It's generational.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Same way it is in the West Coast. It's generational.
Right.
The youth gangs of our era were not generational. That was something that took place in a very specific capsule, a very specific time frame, late 60s to mid 70s.
Right.
And basically, and I'm on record as saying that in another interview with Nypd, what did it, hip hop music did some of it, but really age.
Age.
You know, you think about it, you've posted on several times. What did a lot of the original Spades do?
Right.
They got jobs.
Got jobs. And the police started shooting them, right?
Well, that's the other part.
Tonight there is anger here in New York City over 5 police officers firing 50 rounds into a car last weekend, killing 1 man, wounding 2 others.
Early this morning, 22-year-old Amadou Diallo was shot 41 times by police officers.
The police, that's the thing with Solsky.
Could I say that that's the beginning of police shootings as far as like in the city, just randomly shooting black men? Because it seemed like in the 50s or the 40s, they wouldn't just shoot you dead.
Well,
like that.
you know, there's history of that too. I mean, one of the major riots that took place in Harlem in the 1940s was over police brutality of a young boy.
Killings or brutality? I mean,
well, it was brutality. They had said that the boy got killed or whatever. But I mean, did it escalate during the 70s, 60s, and 70s? Probably so.
Right.
You know what I mean? Probably so. I don't like to say things definitively that I cannot tell you for fact because I know it historically or know it from my personal experience.
Right.
You know, I can certainly tell you that there were lots of incidents of police brutality against gang members, specifically the Spades. You know, we had a brother named Dougie who was called Prince. He was beat to death by the police up in the train station up on 241st Street. That happened before Solsky. You know, and I told you, the story about Solsky and Ron, and our president, Wildman, who didn't die, he lived, he survived. That was the police. I had a thing with the police, you know, where they threatened to throw me off a roof one time. You know, and you know, I remember when I said that, you had some white dudes, even some unenlightened black folk come out. Man, that's bull. It ain't bullshit, son. And you know why I know it ain't bullshit? Because what's happening today.
Right.
Okay? So all that bullshit, you know, I don't have, like I told people, man, I don't need to make up shit. I sit with a master's degree, highly well educated, you know, able to be employed. You know, my thing is academia. You know what I mean?